We are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday to you guys. Welcome to today's live stream. We are VB Technologies. My name is Gershom Folkart. This is Mr. Jingao, our Vice Chairman.
Hello, man. Exciting Monday. Great Monday. So we are giving away some Bitcoins, okay? So put your price prediction in, your Bitcoin price prediction for 615. All right. So anyone that puts it into our Facebook or YouTube by 540, whoever's the closest will get $25 in Bitcoin at 615. All right. We're going to look at the price at 615. Whatever the price is, that's what we're going to use. And whoever's closest gets $25.
Awesome. Right. Some Bitcoin giveaway. Also with us, as always, Mr. Jason Wong, our co-founder for VB Technology. Mr. Wong, how are you, sir?
How you doing? Doing well. So excited. So excited because Bitcoin finally blew through 12,000. Well,
yes.
Broke past 12,000.
We should all be excited for that.
So new all-time high will be.
It's just around the corner. It's just around. I'm telling you, it's just around the corner. Right. And as always, we're having us as well, James from California. James is the man that makes things happen. He keeps everything together, keep me and Mr. Wong and Mr. Gao in check, make sure we, behave ourselves and everything. What's going on, James? How you doing in California, buddy?
Hey, not bad, man. It was really weird. Yesterday we had this, it hasn't rained in months, and out of nowhere there was a massive thunderstorm with tons of rain and a tornado warning. Then it cleared up and got to 109 degrees. So it was all happened in one day. Really weird.
That's crazy. California.
Yeah. Be careful out there. California, it's right now it's a crazy place.
Yeah. A lot of things going on in California. It must be the weather.
So be careful and be safe. Also, James, are we on YouTube? I just got a message from someone that saying they don't see us on YouTube.
Yeah, we should be up on YouTube, yep.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right. So yes, as we said, guys, Bitcoin surged past 12,000. I think this is the real 12,000 mark in terms of staying above 12,000. Again, we don't know. Bitcoin can do its own thing sometimes. I think at the very worst case scenario, if we see a pullback, the deepest pullback I see is around 10.5. If at all, right? I could see us pulling back to 10.5 if that were to happen. I don't see going anything below that, but we'll see what happens. But I'm feeling very confident about this $12,000 break. I think that Bitcoin right now is eyeing 20,000 by the end of the year, and there have been plenty of predictions, by guys who know what they're talking about, guys like Mike Novogratz and guys like Anthony Pompliano, who have been saying that we'll see an all-time high this year. And a lot of us, we like to hear that, but we're not too confident about it. But these guys seem very confident in what Bitcoin just did, breaking 12,000 in such a strong way. Hey, I think it could happen. What do you think, Mr. Gao?
It's always our company. Last month, our company actually had one of the best month. Is the best month that we have, a record-breaking month in July. And over the weekend, we've been doing great over the weekend. So we had tons of sales and tons of people coming on board and get into Bitcoin. That just goes to say, like what we've been saying, whenever we have a big surge, whenever our company making big moves and having an influx of customers coming in, Bitcoin price follows.
Yes.
Right? And then today, boom, it went above 12,000. So I don't know, is it coincidence or actually that is what's happening? So we're gonna see. All right, we have a lot of time. We're gonna see. So whenever we have a big surge, I'm gonna put some money in Bitcoin and bet it's gonna go up.
Yeah, right. So that's going to be your indicator.
Yes.
Whenever you have a surge in sale, you're going to go hard in Bitcoin.
That's right. Okay, so it's not like those traders are looking at these charts that chart or whatever chart.
Forget the charts. Let's watch our members and see what they're doing.
The RSI, forget it. About members are coming in, we are doing great business.
Bitcoin's going to surge. I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. So, Mr. Wong, we'll talk about this a few times. Bitcoin did punch through 12,000 and then, kind of pulled back below that. So now we're above 12,000 again. I think this is a stronger move than the last time. And so, we'll see what happened. But, what are your thoughts right now, with this new move above 12,000?
It just goes to saying that we do believe that in the long run, Bitcoin is going to go up, right? I feel very, very good and very strongly about this year. We will hit the new all-time high. I like, how Jim puts it. He's down at the trenches, right? He's not looking at this from a 30,000-foot view. He sees customer coming into the company, buying packages, so he and that's the best indicator. I mean, to us that our products, people just like it. People likes our product, and actually, the more people that get in, into our company, that means the more people want to become a miner. It's just going to push the Bitcoin, difficulty up and push the Bitcoin prices to go up. So everything's just kind of, makes a lot of sense to me. So I am really hoping that we're going to go and hit that new all-time high. I mean, we have seen different predictions from 25 or 20, 25, 50,000. So I am just really excited. And I don't think it's going to take that long actually to find out. We already in August, there's 4 more months left in 2020. So we're going to find out pretty soon, where this thing is going to be headed.
Actually, our next topic that we're going to talk about is going to touch on that to some extent. But I agree with you. I don't think it's going to take that long for us to see 20,000. Now, the psychological price point right now is 14,000, right? 12, first it was 10. We have to break through that. That was a very strong psychological price point. 12, to a certain extent, yes, but not so much. 14,000 is the true psychological price point. So if we see Bitcoin, this move that's doing right now, I don't expect for it to go straight up and punch through 14,000. If it does, great. I don't expect it. I expect some kind of, pull back a little bit, consolidate, and then move again. But 14,000 is the next strong psychological price point. So the sooner we can break 14,000, then the sooner we're going to hit 20,000. And so here's what happened. What I see happening. If we punch through 14,000 between now and say going into October, then I'm solidly 100% confident that we crack 20,000 by the end of the year. So that's what I'm looking at is 14,000. I want to see how soon we can get to 14,000 and how strongly we can break 14,000. And that will let me know for sure if we're going to crack 20,000 this year.
We've been talking about this since the halving, right? Since even before the halving, we're telling our members and talking to our members. When the halving comes, it's going to be a little difficult for everybody. There will be some pains for some miners for a few months, right? The halving happened in May. Now is August, so it's about 3 months since the halving. We're telling people, actually, maybe even we were a little more conservative. We're telling them for the next 4 to 6 months, actually, you might be some painful point for miners because the price will be around under 10,000. So it's great. The market actually is doing better than we predicted, right? So now it's August and it's already hitting 12. But the 14,000, we were saying that most likely what happened in the past is after the halving, usually the price will double from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, right? So in the beginning is around 7,000, beginning of the year. So the 14,000 it would still hold true if according to the last couple halving. So if it breaks that 14,000, right now I still see it that we're going to be around the 14,000 range by near the end of the year. If it gets better, man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Right. but that's it can happen. It can happen because of what's going on, of course, of this COVID-19 and all this money coming in from the government. So can it happen that an all-time high will be this year instead of next year, like a lot of people are predicting? Yes, possible, right? But I'm still more leaning probably around the 14,000. I want to be a little more conservative, and if it does go higher than that, man, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be nuts. You know, you touch on something that I kind of want to expand on a little bit. When you said, you know, all that's going on right now with the money printing, and I think we have to. It's not just the money printing; it's why the money printing, right? It's why the money printing, and you know, the video coming up that we're going to play for you guys today is, you know, it's Robert Kiyosaki in the background, kind of narrating some stuff. And the thing about it is, I don't know if people take what's going on seriously enough. And I talk to some people and, you know, I think they have the mindset like, you know, everything is going to be okay. You know, we're going to get through this. I'm not saying that we won't. I'm not saying it's a doom and gloom, but we have to understand that there's a certain shift that's taking place. And so, yes, the government is printing, you know, money like $1 trillion a month, it seems like. So you have to ask yourself, why are they doing it? Why is it necessary? And it's not, and guys, it's not the COVID-19. I mean, I know that to me, that's like a very good convenience for them, but it's not. There's some serious underlying problems with the economy and the U.S. dollar. That's what the problem is. And if it was just, believe me, if it was just a COVID-19 situation, a pullback in the economy, these Wall Street guys and all these guys, Warren Buffett just sold his bank stocks and bought gold. And Warren Buffett hates gold. At least he led us to believe he hated gold. The amount of things that Warren Buffett would say about gold in a negative way. Gold is just a piece of rock you get on the ground. It doesn't pay any dividends, blah, blah, blah. And for Warren Buffett to sell his bank stocks and is going into gold, that is a serious sign that something is going on in the underlying economy, and particularly the banks are in trouble. And you and I talk about this the other day, that the banks are tightening up on their lending standards, right? There's a reason. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And so all these guys, as a matter of fact, let's go on to the next topic. Farmer, I think he used to be the CEO for Prudential, right? He was in an interview. What's his name? I'll tell you his name right now. But he said that by Labor Day, right after Labor Day, we're going to see people running into Bitcoin by the crowds, right? And so when a guy, and this is not a guy that was seriously negative about Bitcoin. He couldn't find anything good to say about Bitcoin, right? And it's an inside guy. It's a Wall Street guy. Right. And now for him to say, hey, look, based on what's going on, guys, by Labor Day, I expect to see people running into Bitcoin. Why is he saying that?
And it's funny. I think you guys talked about this on Friday, right? About how all these Bitcoin non-believers, they were starting being converted into Bitcoin believers. Yes, this guy you're talking about how Bitcoin's going to go up, people are going into Bitcoin. Yeah, he's totally an opponent of Bitcoin. And just what you said earlier about Warren Buffett, he was not into gold. He's into more traditional companies like banks, right, or insurance companies. Now he's getting out of the bank, getting into gold. And he talked about he's not into Bitcoin either.
Gold is a pit stop to Bitcoin for Warren Buffett.
That's right.
Not my word on that.
And he wasn't into the internet companies back then. I mean, now I don't know what he has. Actually, Geico is pretty much an internet online insurance company. But anyway, so we got all these guys or traditional Wall Street guys, heavy equity guys, and now they're coming into Bitcoin. They're finally seeing the light. Okay, they're finally tippy-toeing in, and now and some of them are really pushing it, right? And if we talk about Goldman Sachs, was poo-pooing. Of course, JP Morgan had been poo-pooing before, but they already been converted. And Goldman Sachs, a few months ago they were against it, and now their analysts are saying what a great thing it is. So we all winning people over. It's just so great to see.
It is great to see. It is great to see. Absolutely. Hey, Mr. Wong, what's your take on the whole thing? All these Wall Street guys, and one by one, they are being converted into becoming a Bitcoin believer because now they're seeing the writing on the wall, right?
Yeah.
And now they cannot hide anymore. So now Bitcoin is exposing all of them, and so they have to run to Bitcoin for cover. What's your take on the whole thing, sir?
Big or small, we take them all, right? That's our motto over here.
We'll take them. They can come on in, right? Absolutely.
We'll take them. We'll take them on. Now, I think the reason why it is such a good sign where Warren Buffett stopped to buy gold because he sees gold as a safe haven, right? And it's probably some of the better performing assets in the 2020 and possibly into 2021 as well. And that's why he made that move. He sold the banks and getting into gold, which is a precious metal. So it's great for Bitcoins because Bitcoin offer an additional advantages. Is highly mobile, right? But here's the thing: we look at traditional banks; they're falling out of the favor of these Wall Street with these Wall Street guys. But if you actually look at these newer fintech companies such as Robinhood, they just got value at over $12 billion. I just saw an article this morning that with their latest round of fundings, that company is being valued at over $12 billion. And they're saying part of that has to do with the ease of use of the software of the app, and also allows people to be able to get in and out of the crypto into fiat very easily. So I think all the signs are pointing at the direction for Bitcoin to hit its all-time high. So I'm very excited about that, about these new developments.
I think anyone that's in this space should be very excited. The thing is, this is something that most of us have been saying for years, and we have gotten so much flack from being a Bitcoin supporter and to be involved in Bitcoin and trying to talk to people and trying to get them in this space and trying to explain to them, what we saw coming down the pipe, right? Mm-hmm. And so now to see some of these guys from Wall Street that's, coming over this side of the fence and, pretty much eating crow, then they're basically coming over, apologizing for being such a negative, opponent of Bitcoin for all these years. But as far as Warren Buffett is concerned, I think he talks more stuff about Bitcoin than he does gold, although he has said some very critical things about gold. So to see him going into gold is a very good sign, because the next step for him is to eat crow like everybody else and get some Bitcoin. I don't know if he's that stubborn to where he won't do it, but I see Bitcoin as just a pit stop. Mm-hmm. For him to get into Bitcoin. At some point, he's going to realize that he has to, just like he realized right now, he has to get out of his bank stock, and he see gold as like the best safe haven because that's all he knows. But just give him time. All right. Before you know it, it's going to be all over Bitcoin.
Which is actually, this is a great opportunity for our members. A lot of our members and their friends, a lot of my friends. Right, same thing. They were non-Bitcoin, or they were non-believers in Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. Right, they don't understand it, or what they don't understand, they don't touch. And so a lot of them say that. And even some of the members prospect that I've been talking to, some of the members, they 3-way call me sometimes, and I talk to their prospect, and that's what they've been saying. They were saying they were non-believers. In the last 2 years, we have members going and talking to their friends and families, and there's still a lot of people, of course, don't see it and don't believe it. People are changing right now. Everything's in the news, and of course now is hitting another 12,000 high this year. So it's a good time to go back to talk to those non-believers that you had, and I bet you now many of them are either believers or they are very curious into coming back or coming into the Bitcoin market.
I think, so when you look at Bitcoin, right, number one, it's a non-correlating asset. We know exactly how much Bitcoin there will ever be, right? So it's not like, you know, even if you take gold, we really and truly don't know how much gold is out there. And, you know, we don't, and even they're talking about, even though it sounds like it's a joke, but Elon Musk is talking about, you know, going into space and mining gold from off some of those asteroids, right? But put that aside, even right here on Earth, we don't know if there's any more gold deposits somewhere under the Earth's crust. No one knows. So you cannot say for sure that gold is a limited supply. But you can say for sure that Bitcoin is a limited supply. So it's the hardest asset as far as money. It is the hardest money ever. And so it's just, it took these people a little bit of time. And also, you know, a lot of these guys, they have wealthy clients, right? And so I think the network has to prove itself for them to actually realize that, okay, we can get into this thing. Because when you manage billions and hundreds of billions of dollars, you got to be careful where you're putting people's money. But I think over time, the way Bitcoin has performed, I think it's now making these guys feel a little safer that they can get involved and don't feel like, you know, maybe, you know, the code could be hacked or, you know, something like that. I think this has given us more confidence that it's been on for so long and it's kept on so strong. But it's just great to see all these guys that's coming over into the Bitcoin space. And what, you know, the thing is, when you see people like this coming into the space, the crowd is going to follow them. It's like the piper blowing in the piper. Right? That's what's going to be like. These guys are coming in, and all of their followers, their fans and whatnot is going to come right in. Because, so, like Warren Buffett, for example, so many people look up to someone like that, right? So when he makes a move, they want to make the same move as well. Guys like Paul Tudor Jones, guys like Mike Novogratz, right? So yes, those guys are going to bring a lot of people into the space. All right, it's time for a video. This video today, super short, maybe 5 minutes long, but another powerful video. And it's coming from someone that we all know and respect, Robert Kiyosaki. And, you know, someone like this knows, he's been around, he knows what's going on. He's a multi-billionaire, you know, made his money, like he's a self-made guy, right? And he's basically saying, look, you know, really bad things are on the horizon. And we have to be prepared for what's taking place. And like I was saying before, I don't think enough people really take this thing serious enough. And they don't understand the money printing and what that's going to cause. And this new, this reset in the economy that's taking place and what it's going to do to people and their savings and their pensions and all of that. So I want you guys to take some time, 5 minutes long. Actually, this video was posted by one of our members in our Telegram group, because I had another video lined up for today's live stream. But when I saw this video, I thought that maybe this one is a little bit more appropriate to play right now for members to really get people's mind right and get you thinking about what you need to be thinking about, and that is protecting yourself and your family's savings and assets, okay? So if you're ready, James, please play the video, sir.
I think people really need to waken up to what's going to happen.
And the question is, how is it going to affect you personally? What are you going to do personally? How is it going to affect your family?
I would just be very prepared for what's about to happen, especially as we get closer to the election.
It's going to be like an asteroid hitting planet Earth. So the real purpose of this show is to prepare for it. The problem is most people are like deer in the headlight, right? They're just, no, it's going to come back. You know, Trump will save me, Biden will save me, Ocasio-Cortez will save me. But I think that we're heading into the biggest disaster I've ever seen.
We all know at this point 55 million Americans lost their jobs. Reports just came back yesterday that the U.S. GDP dropped 32.9%. Let me say this one more time. U.S. GDP in second quarter lost 32.9%. That's like a company's revenue dropping 33%, which is scary, but it's a country, which is even scarier.
If they don't bail this whole thing out, the trouble is, how big would that bailout have to be? How big would it have to be? There's a thing called CMBS's commercial mortgage-backed securities. They're like the loans on the office buildings and shopping centers and all that. They're broke. Can the Fed bail them out? Plus the pensions, plus mom and pop who lose their jobs. They could be 40, 50 years old, 3 kids, a mortgage. How big is this tsunami going to be?
We've seen the market come back quite a bit. It's really because the Fed's been printing monopoly money, and the stock market's just betting on the Fed to continue to do so. I see a train wreck coming at the end of this month when you have the $600 a week benefit ending, student debt relief ending, mortgage debt relief, and this crisis, which the media will not let go. I see a collision course headed in the market very soon. So this false sense that your 401k balance has increased, I would just be very prepared for what's about to happen. What you're aware of, you can control, but what you're not aware of will control you. And the more you're aware of what's going on in the economy, pension, and the stock market, the more you can prepare for plan B.
Let me give you an idea how long it takes to print $1 trillion. It takes less than a minute, 12 keystrokes. But if you were to spend $1 trillion at $1 a second, it would take them 34,000 years. And in the last few months, the pensions have gone short, just for the public guys, by $7 trillion. That's a lot of money to me. So that's why it's gold, silver, Bitcoin right now. But just as a pure hedge, a defense mechanism, I think you need plan Bs. How are you going to generate income? Really, it's time to be more creative and figure out how you can generate more.
If you were in a certain industry, you took a big hit, you're not to blame, because who the hell was under the impression we're going to be told to not go to, kids cannot go to school and shut down industries? You and I didn't know that. We've never been through this before. This was the first time. But if it happens a second time around and you stay in an industry that took a massive hit, then it's your fault. First time around, not your fault. Second time around, it is your fault. The industry that took the biggest hit, okay, June over June last year, unemployment June of 2020, unemployment of June of 2019. Leisure and hospitality's unemployment rate is 29%, is the highest in any industry. Then it's mining, oil and gas extraction is 17.8%. Transportation or utilities, 12.9%. Then it's information, 12%. Wholesale, retail, and trade, 11.2%. Construction, 10.1%. Manufacturing, 9.1%. Education and health services, 8.6%. Personal business services, 8.6%. Then it's self-employed, unincorporated, and unpaid family workers, 8.1%. Then government workers, 7.3%. Then agriculture, 5.4%. You know what the lowest one is? 5.1% financial activities, financial services. As a career, you have to figure out a way to position yourself where you're pandemic proof. By the way, I'm not telling you everybody's leaving that industry. I guarantee you most people don't like change. Most people like to stick to the same thing. Most people don't want to even see any kind of change, because as you get older, the hardest thing to do is change. You become this person that just kind of wants everything to be the same. You don't want that. But that's also a scary place to be. But if you look at these stats and you don't go study how they took big hits, why they took big hits, and how long it's going to take for them to recover, and you keep staying in that industry, and it happens to you again 5-10 years from now, you can't be upset at the government, you can't be upset at the economy, you can't be upset at a virus. The only person you can be upset about is your decision.
All right. So I like that video. The reason why I like that video is these videos, they're designed to really get you to think about what's taking place and not get complacent. And I know that the government is going to do everything they can to print as much money as they can to try to bail out the system. But as I've been saying for a long time, there's going to be a point where they can print all they want and nothing is going to stop what's happening, because the dollar is devaluing, right? Many people don't think that's the case. But if we're not prepared for what's going to come, and not only Robert Kiyosaki is saying it, the gentleman that used to be the CEO for Prudential, he literally came out and said, around Labor Day or so, this year, around Labor Day, there's going to be blood in the streets as far as the market. He could be wrong, right? These guys, they all could be wrong. But what if they're not wrong? And that's the thing. They could be wrong, but what if they're not? Like, are you prepared that if they are not wrong, are you prepared for what could possibly happen?
Yeah, talking about change, I'm so glad that I got into VBIT. Right. Prior to VBIT, of course, my main income comes from real estate, right? And I still have the real estate brokerage. I have people running my brokerage, my real estate brokerage. And the business in my real estate brokerage actually has been dropped. Well, the last few months completely dropped more than 70%, right? I'm not getting paid anymore from my real estate brokerage like I used to, right? So, and if I did not get into VBIT, I don't even know what's going to happen. What would happen, right? It's crazy. The last few months, I feel so good about our business. Our company's been doing so well, and of course, I've been doing pretty well. Right? So I'm not even worried at all about my real estate or even my insurance business that I have. I'm totally financially capable and pretty much worry-free, right? And few of my friends, they own restaurants. They were telling me, those guys are suffering, guys. The restaurants, the hospitality business, right? They are totally suffering. So he actually came to me last week. What can I do? What should I do? Should I go into a new industry? I told him yes. I straight out told him. It's going to take a while for the restaurant business to pick up. He asking, what industry should I get into? I said, well, what do you think? What have I been telling you the last 2 years? What do you think? What industry should I get into? So I'm just so glad. I'm just so blessed. And of course, I want to thank all the members, all you guys that make this company happen. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I second that, Mr. Gao. I'm an agent in your brokers and everything, and we all know how the real estate slowed down. Mm-hmm. I've been very fortunate to be a part of this company and what's going on. Like, I don't have any worries per se like that either. Mm-hmm. I'm not, my life haven't changed since the COVID lockdown. Everything's been pretty much.
Actually, it's gotten better.
Better, actually, yeah. Actually, it has gotten better. So, yeah, I'm very fortunate to be a part of VBIT and what we're doing. And I know, Mr. Wong, I know you're super happy about what we're doing and what the company is doing, and I feel like this company was built for times like this, right? It's to give people an opportunity, right? They can actually see a way out, and anyone that's involved with our company, I guarantee you they can see a way out of what's going on right now. And if they've been with us for a while, I know that they have no worries. They should have no worries because, with mining Bitcoin, stacking Bitcoin every day, that's where you need to be. So what's your take, Mr. Wong? Please, sir.
I completely agree. Bitcoin, was created for times like these, right? It's to really hedge against, your traditional market or traditional assets. Even though this show is not about, giving, financial advice, but we always tell people and believe in like diversifying your portfolio, but not just diversifying your portfolio, but diversify your income source too, guys. Right? Too many people talk about diversifying, portfolio. You should own, certain percentage in stock, bonds, precious metal, real estate, and all that stuff. Nobody talks about diversifying your income source, and that's what VBIT can provide. And that's really what helps, a lot of our members to get through these financial tough times, because while their company is shutting down or reducing their hours, our sales has been phenomenal. We just had, like Jin was saying a couple of minutes ago, we just had our best month in the company history, which is July, and August kicked it off with a very, very, very strong start. That's what VBIT is for, is to be there for you guys so that you can have an opportunity to diversify your income source, guys. So if you're not already a member, if you're not already part of VBIT, come join us and take a look at our webinars. That's every Tuesday and Thursday, and Gershon gives another webinars. So find out what opportunities we have for you guys. And I am just so happy because Jin and I, we've been in business partners for 20 years, and yeah, our other income sources have gone down, but you know what, VBIT's cash flow has gone up tremendously. So we're doing really well as a company, as an individual. We're doing really well. We're feeling very, when we're not going through that financial stress like many of our friends and families are going through right now. Jim has a friend that owns a restaurant. My in-law owns a restaurant, and they're just barely getting by because you can't offer any dining right now, right? I mean, you can only do outdoor dining, and then they rely heavily on takeout business. So yeah, those people are suffering tremendously. They're just making enough just so that they can keep the staff and keep the lights on, keep the store open. It's going to take a long time before they can recover and going back to the old days. So glad that I'm part of VBIT. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. And that it's not a political thing. In this show, we do everything to stay away from politics. But I talk to people all the time, and I was talking to people the other day, and they were so happy and giddy that Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris for his running mate. And I talk to other people, and they're so happy about it because they think Trump is going to win the landslide, blah, blah. And I was just thinking, I just want to say to you guys, nobody's coming to save you, man. And don't get caught up in the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump. They're not coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And if you get caught up in this political thing and think that, one person win, the other person win, that your life is going to be so much better and all that, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Doesn't matter who win or who lost. You can't control that. But what are you doing to control your circumstance, your immediate circumstance? Because nobody is coming to save you. You have to take the measures and the preparedness to save yourself. And don't look to Washington to save you, guys. It's not going to happen. And when I talk to people and they're acting as if, what happens in Washington is going to make their life so much better, it's not. You have to take the measures to save yourself. So I also want to put that out there. I've been thinking about it over the weekend, and I didn't want to bring it up. But the more I think about it, I just feel like saying it. No one is coming to save you, man. You got to save yourself. So, look around what's going on. Look what the government is doing, the money printing, the base in the dollar, the bailing out the big corporations and all of that. We have printed up $3 trillion in a couple of months. And right now they can't even agree for another bailout package because one side want 1 trillion, another side want 3 trillion. And we're talking about trillion as if it's, it's nothing. Like $1 trillion is a lot of freaking money. And we're printing up trillions of dollars so yeah, I'm telling you, now things are bad. It's going to get worse and nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself.
Yep, and Gershom, we talked about this on Friday at our podcast. There's like a different estimates out there that talks about if the U.S. were to bail out everybody as what the video was saying, right? All those commercial papers, from commercial papers to student loans and all that pension funds, we're looking at 60 to 70 trillion dollars.
There's no way. There's no way.
So, this is an insane amount of money, and you can pretty much expect those money that the feds print out would have to be paid back, for years and years and maybe even generations to come. Okay, so. Be prepared for that. The best way is to diversify your income source. Don't wait for the governments, to come in and bail you out with a $600 unemployment check, which already ended, by the way. And they're going to come back with a reduced amount. But why try to depend on somebody, to come in and save you when you have the opportunity?
Point, Mr. Wong. That is my point exactly. Like. And look, I know that there's some people that need that. People got sent home or got laid off or furloughed.
Of course.
For no reason of their own. And I get that. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I get all that. But, when those things happen, you got to figure out what kind of move you can make to put yourself in a better situation. And, the fact that, some of the people that's waiting for the government to pass a stimulus bill so they can get an extra, $600 or $1,200, I'm sure it'd probably be helpful, but what's the price of that? There's consequence for everything. There's no free lunch. There is no free lunch.
All right.
So
let's go move on to the next topic. Too much doom and gloom. I can't take it.
We gotta let folks be realistic over here. So who won the $25 Bitcoin giveaway?
Not yet.
Not yet?
It's not 6:15 yet. I got my alarm set.
Okay, you got your alarm set. Okay. Next topic, guys. So Anthony Pompliano wrote earlier today, I think it was yesterday actually, that in the next decade or so, he actually see Bitcoin market cap surpassing gold market cap, right? So gold have about an $8 trillion market cap. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin's market cap is what, like maybe
200 and change billion?
Yeah.
230 billion right now, I think.
Can you imagine, even with a $1 trillion market cap, what Bitcoin price would be? Mm-hmm. Okay, so imagine $8 trillion.
So 8 trillion by 2029. So he's saying by 2029, Bitcoin's market cap will exceed gold's market cap. Mm. So gold's market cap right now is about 8 billion.
8 trillion.
8 trillion, sorry. But in 2029, it'll probably be 10 trillion, right? Right now, but I mean, 10 years from now, 9 years from now, of course, gold is not going to just stay at that price, right? It's gonna go up. So which means about 10 trillion. So, all right. All right, the 6:15 right now. So let me just put the price of Bitcoin right now, and then all right, here's the price. And then James, if you can just help us see who is the closest while we finish up this topic.
Sure thing.
Price is at 12,000. Let me put it in 12,353. Wow, 353 and 10 cents. Okay. So it's 12,353 and 10 cents. Okay. All right. So so right now, let's say we're at Bitcoin's market cap is 230 billion. Right? Let's say 200 billion to make it easier to calculate. So to hit 10 trillion, how much per Bitcoin, right? So to hit 10 trillion, so 200 billion, so 10 times 200 billion is 2 trillion.
Yeah.
Right? 10 times. All right. And to hit 10 billion, actually it's 50 times. Am I correct? 50 times 200 billion would be 10 trillion.
When the numbers get that big. But right? Let's go with the argument. That sounds about. Let's go with that.
Right. That means Bitcoin will go up 50 times. If it goes up 50 times, let's say 10,000, and 50 times will be, that's $500,000. That's $500,000, right? So that's where these analysts get all these numbers. So all these numbers are somewhat related to what all these people are talking about.
Yeah.
Right? All these fundamentals, and not talk about the technical part of it. So if it does happen, yes. So Bitcoin will be over $500,000 per Bitcoin. All right, Jason, is my math correct?
That sounds a little conservative to me. I know Mr. Wong is a math genius.
No.
So Mr. Wong.
These numbers are so huge.
That's what I'm saying. When the numbers get this big, I'm just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Wong, you being the math genius that you are, what are we talking about here?
I know Jen's math is correct. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it when Bitcoin does hit $500,000 per Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine, right?
Yeah, I know where to find Jen if it does. He's gonna be living at a beachfront property.
Yes.
Or maybe my own island.
It'll be pretty boring.
I want to live on my own island.
But and that's the thing. Not only me. I think a lot of members. A lot of members have a lot of Bitcoins, and we're mining it. So as miners, we're more into holding the Bitcoin, and that's what I'm into. I'm a holder.
You're a hodler.
Hodler.
You're a hodler. Yeah, he's a hodler.
Hodler. I mine them and I keep most of them, and some of them I used to buy some other altcoins, but most of them what I mine, I just keep it in Kabul, and I keep it in Bitcoin. Right. So in the next 10 years, I don't know how many Bitcoins I want to have.
I mean, if you keep mining and keep hodling like this, you're gonna have a lot of Bitcoin. Next,
I would say at least 50, 60 Bitcoins.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah, at least.
That. So a lot of our members going to probably have the same amount too, or even more. So a lot of our members have a lot of hash power that they're mining with.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of our members' wallet. They showed me the Kabul wallet. There are like 5-6 Bitcoins in the Kabul wallet. I know. How do you get that many Bitcoins?
Yes. Can you believe? I mean, like it's a beautiful thing to see, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful thing to see when you are in a business and to see that the members and the clients and the customers are all so happy, and you know the amount of emails and texts that we get every day for people so happy about the business and what they're doing and what they're seeing. But you're right. Can you imagine someone opening the Kabul wallet? The price of Bitcoin right now is $12,000. You got 6 Bitcoin. That's what, like $70,000, something like that.
You got 6 Bitcoin. That is $72,000.
Yeah, and it didn't take them that long to get it either. You know, I mean, okay, so we've been around for a little over 2 years. The company, so it's way less than 2 years for sure, right? So it's a beautiful thing, man. It's awesome to see. So you want to do the Bitcoin price?
Yes.
So who's the winner?
James, who's the winner?
So assuming the closest would have been Angie Punsal, but she put in her answer 5 minutes ago, and I think based on what you said before, it was sealed off. So other than that, it would have been Amy Smith over on YouTube, who was really early, one of the first people in the stream. She guessed $12,341.50. The actual price when you punched in was $12,353.10. So that puts her at 11.6 off, which should be the closest.
All right.
Amy, congratulations.
Congrats, Amy.
So you know what to do, right? Send me your member ID, and so I can drop you $25 in Bitcoin in your Kaboo wallet.
All right, $25 BTC.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it.
All right. Right. So the price gotta be, you gotta put in the price by 540. All right. So this is to give, of course, the people that came on time or early a chance to win. All right.
All right, Amy, drop me your member ID. You can do it later. It's up to you because we're going to wrap up the live stream right now anyway. Okay, guys, look, we're going to wrap things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. We didn't want to be all doom and gloom. At the same time, we want to, infuse the reality of the situation to make sure that, we're all on our P's and Q's and we are prepared, because what's happening right now and what's about to unfold, we have never seen before. And it's not a joke. This is not this is for real. We have some serious problems. And if we're not prepared in the right way, we're going to feel some pain. So that's all we're trying to do, guys. Just bring you guys information to make sure that you guys have the information to prepare yourself for what's coming. That being said, we're going to wrap it up. Hope you guys had a good time. See you guys, most of you, tonight, 9 p.m. on the webinar for the compensation structure, as always, 9 p.m. Don't forget that. And then tomorrow, 7:30, for trainings for members, and also a presentation webinar for anyone that want to find out about the company, what we're doing, and how you can be a part of this. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. I will see most of you tonight. The rest of you see you tomorrow in training. You guys take care. Good evening.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.